Doing good. Feels good to be able to get a win in. So just taking it one day at a time.
You know who Lance Allworth is?
Who?
You know who Lance Allworth is? Your coach is a Hall of Fame receiver from the 60s. The sideline footwork, is that something you worked on once you got in the NFL? Something you've always had, or have you gotten better at it?
No, I don't really think I practice it a lot, honestly. But I think it's something that I do without even knowing that I do. Like there's times whenever I'm catching the ball, like in walkthrough or maybe even at practice, where I'm not even on the sidelines, but I'm like practicing it without even really thinking about it, But I think a lot of it is just kind of trying to have awareness of knowing where you are on the field, knowing that how close you are to the sidelines and all that type of stuff, knowing if you need to go toe drag or just hurry up and chop your feet to be able to get in, but also being able to know where the defender is and, how to take a hit. I think it's just something that you do work on, and hopefully pretty soon it's something that can become natural.
What type of preparation goes in throughout the week for you and Russell to be in sync like that?
A lot of it is just really not on the field. It's more so off the field. It's really just about how you think, understanding how he sees the game going into the week, where he thinks the open holes are going to be at. When it does come to scramble, sometimes that's stuff that does need to be seen in practice, so that way he has an idea of what it is that you're going to do or how you're going to try to get open. But a lot of it is just being able to understand the way that he does things, the way that he operates, the way that he creates plays with his feet. And then after that, it's just being able to try to get open the best way that you can. I think the best part about the scramble drill is it's something that can be taught, but it's something that comes naturally when you have people that, can adjust. And I think that at quarterback, Russ is really great at adjusting when things aren't going right to be able to keep the play alive. And that way he's able to be able to create us and find ways to be able to make us open.
You went over 1,000 yards for the third straight year. Steve Largen's the only guy in team history to do that before you. What does it mean to be in that kind of company?
Oh, man, that's a blessing, to be honest. I was just telling them, I said, it's funny because we got the same birthday and we were born and raised in the same hometown, Tulsa, Oklahoma. So it's just pretty funny just that something like that was to happen. But, ultimately, I just thank God, for even putting me in this position, because there are sometimes as individuals we want to go out there and we want to have these certain type of games, or we want to have these moments where we could look back in our careers and be happy with it. And the things that I've wanted to happen for myself is nothing compared to what God has been doing in my life. And so it's just funny how things work out and how the journey looks, and how you just got to be able to keep pushing and being able to know that everything is going to work together for the good. And sometimes it's hard to see that because we want to see it work for our good, or we just want to see it in the way that we imagined it or visioned it in our heads. But, the best stories come when God is able to create the story and tell the story, rather than me as an individual trying to tell my own story.
Can you take us through the touchdown run before the half?
Oh, yeah, man. We just kind of understood what type of defenses that they were going to be able to run. Once we were able to kind of see it, that's when we took advantage of it. Russ did a great job being able to throw the ball. And, again, when he throws the ball up in the air, it's just, for me, I just got to be able to know how to track it, and just being able to understand where I need to be and how I need to track it based off of the DBs, them reading it, them trying to catch up to me. Maybe some of them don't look for the ball. Maybe some of them do. And so for me, it's when the ball's in the air, how can I position myself in the best possible way to be able to come down with it? But, that was a perfect throw.
Is that weird when you're in a stadium like this where it's sort of a dome but the roof's open? Is it weird to look up and...
Oh, yeah, it threw me off when they opened up the dome. I thought it was going to be closed. And so, but, it's nice out here, So, I don't blame them. I really don't. It was a little colder than I thought it was going to be. But, for the most part, man, it was beautiful weather. And just being able to have the opportunity, like I said, a lot of the things that we take for granted is like being able to land here safely, being able to make it through another day, being able to sit here and being able to play the game. And so when you look at the little things and you see those as victories, then it makes the game so much more easier. You're able to celebrate, being able to actually play. There's people that wish that they could suit up. You know, there's people on practice squad that wish that they could suit up. And so when you kind of start looking at a lot of these different things as victories rather than I got to get 100 yards, I got to get 1,000 yards, I got to do – like those are things that we all want, and, you know, and they might happen, they might not. But being able to see the good in every situation, like that's something that me personally I want to work on and continue to be good at.
The 2-point play, could you take us through that?
Oh, like I said, turn back in the scramble drill. Once Russ get out of that pocket, it's everybody get open. And, you know, he made a great throw, man. He was looking at me. He threw it, and I saw disc coming on the other side, and I was a little nervous because I didn't know, you know, what to do, and I just kind of moved out the way. And, I mean, I felt like he was throwing me the ball. So, you know, I tried to make an effort to catch the ball, but it was just one of those things where we got the 2-point conversion. Everybody's happy. You know, that was a big play for us within the game because they could have went down and scored. You know, I think we were only up by 12, and so they could have went down and scored, and it could have been whatever type of game. You know, we have a lot of crazy games here, just being with the Seahawks. But, man, it was a great day. It was a great day.
How small was that window when you released it?
You know, it's different when you're in it than seeing it. So I didn't really see the replay or anything like that, but I definitely knew that it was a small window that he had to throw it into, and I knew that it was a reaction that had to be, you know, there, because otherwise if I didn't move out the way before, me and Dis would have ran into each other.
What do you feel like these 2 wins have done for you guys these last 2 weeks?
I think it's given us a lot of confidence. I think it's given us a boost. We were able to get ourselves a win at CenturyLink, and, you know, that was a crazy win in itself. Crazy game, you know, like I just said earlier. And I think what that does is, you know, I think that's a defining moment for us as individuals, but also as a team, of what is it that we want to do and how far do we want to go. We understand what it is that we want to do and accomplish, but also we gotta be able to enjoy the journey to get there. And so being able to come here, you know, things hadn't always been going good for us, but the fact that we were able to get things going on offense, Penny did a fabulous job rushing the ball. We rushed for almost 190-something yards. I think it was almost 200. And so just being able to see us get back to Seahawk football, being able to, like, move the ball, I think we did a lot better on third downs. And these were the things that we always talked about. Third downs is what was detrimental to us as a team. We weren't able to run the ball like we wanted to. And when those things start coming together, then everybody who has questions on the outside are finally able to see what we always see in practice. You know, so for us, it's just making sure that we can bring that to the game. And I think that these 2 games have given us the confidence and boost that we need to continue to do what needs to be done to finish out this season right.
Penny, just to see him have that kind of game with all the tough injuries he's had and everything, how good is that to see?
Oh, man, just to be able to see Penny go out there and ball, it was amazing, man, because people don't understand the injuries part of the game and the mental and the physical, just all of that type of stuff, man. Like, a lot of people, they played sports. They might have stopped playing sports in college, but as you get older and older and older, that stuff takes a toll on you. You know, when a lot of guys get older, that's what determines whether somebody stays or, you know, decides to play a couple more years. And so just to be able to see him come out there, being able to see him play, break some really big plays, being able to score touchdowns, like that was something that was real big for him, because people saw, you know, glimpses and flashes of what he could do last week. And that's something that we always knew that he could be able to do. And now, you know, I think he's in his groove. I think he's become the person that he wants to be as an individual. And, you know, the way that he ran that ball, you know, he was making a statement.
You compare it to some Hall of Famers. Is this what you envisioned when you were growing up playing the game?
Oh, no. Honestly, man, like, it's funny because growing up, all I really wanted to do was prove to the world God was real. And I didn't know how I was going to do that, but I knew I was going to try to use it through football. And that's really all that I try to do. And I know you can't make people believe, but you just try to live a life to where if people never see Jesus, then maybe they could see him through you. You know, as far as being a part of the Hall of Fame or anything like that, like, I'm not going to stress about that. You know, there's a lot of great players, a lot of great people who can possibly be in the Hall of Fame. But for me, that's not why I play. You know, that's something that I will enjoy if it happens, but that's not why I play. life is way, way bigger than that. But that's something that, you know, that I've started to realize. That's something that you appreciate and you take it with grain of salt and you enjoy it for what it is. But if that's what I want my life to be, then I feel like I'm losing. Because what keeps me here and what keeps me motivated, even when this football stuff is over, is the impact that you have over kids' lives and people's lives. Like, kids are out there screaming your name, you know, people want autographs and signatures. Like, that stuff changes, you know, but the impact that you have on people, like some people, they be wanting to commit suicide. They be wanting to do all this different type of stuff. And the fact of the matter is, you know, some people are in positions where they see certain football players and they're like, bro, you saved my life. You know, I'm not saying to me, I'm just saying as any football player. And so when you really realize the true impact that we have as individuals, like, that's what I consider the Hall of Fame.
Thank you, Tyler.
Thanks, guys.